Well, how can Americans engage with the Muslim world? What do we have to do? One of the things I think we have to do is listen. We're very talkative in our society, but we're not so good at listening. And there's a lot of talk about dialogue these days. People seem to assume that if we could all just dialogue, peace would break out. But there's very little real dialogue going on. When the person who invented the dialogue form in the West was Socrates. And when people came to Socrates, they usually thought they knew what they were talking about. But after half an hour of Socrates' relentless questioning, they found they didn't know the first thing about courage or goodness, and discovered that they would have to go back to the beginning and start again. And at that moment, Socrates said they'd become philosophers because they knew they didn't have wisdom. That on the last day of his life, he said that he was wise in only one respect, that he knew nothing at all. Now, we are very omniscient in our society. Even the way we talk about our friends is full of know-all stuff. Oh, the trouble with her is, or she's always, as though you could sum up a complex human being in one sentence. And people do it with whole cultures, and they do it with Islam. The trouble with Muslims is, this is irrational. You cannot sum up a single human being in a single sentence, never mind a whole culture. And Socrates also said that no one could win a dialogue because you all ended up realizing how little we know about one another, the profound mystery we encounter when we encounter a single human being. That's why Hindus join their hands and bow to each other to acknowledge the divinity that they're encountering. At each stage, said Socrates and Plato, you must be in accord. No one is forcing their opinion on somebody else. And a lot of our so-called dialogue in the West is aggressive. It's not enough for us to seek the truth about somebody or a people. We also have to defeat and humiliate our opponents. That's in politics, in the law courts, in academia. This is getting us nowhere very fast. We have to listen. And when we listen to somebody's story, we often jump in and say, oh, no, it isn't like that, or that didn't happen, I'm afraid you got that wrong. No, any psychiatrist knows that when people are speaking about their pain, for example, they may not be factually accurate, but they are talking about something very profound. And we have to listen to that, listen to the whole of the story. Allow, in the Socratic dialogue, you had to allow the other people to unsettle your opinions, to change you in some way. No point in going into dialogue if you're not prepared to be changed by the encounter with the other. And people want, especially in the Muslim world, their pain acknowledged, just as Americans wanted their pain acknowledged after 9/11. We have to listen to one another's pain and respect it, and listen to the inner meaning of a dialogue, and conduct, as Socrates said, any such discussion gently and courteously. And unless we do that, we are not going to have a viable world.